Hi guys, welcome back. This is Eric Lowe and Ryan Neal from Swordwind Historical Swordsmanship. Today we are looking at the third part of Marozzo's abattimento for the unaccompanied sword. This is, before we get started, the high-level overview of this is defenses against a stoccata, and Marozzo phrases this in sort of a confusing way. It's famously annoying to translate. But what he seems to be giving is a series of solo exercises for a student who has a sharp sword encounter coming up. And it does not particularly flow especially well from one defense to the other from the teacher's standpoint. This is speculation on my part, but I get the impression that he is sort of reminding the reader, meaning a fencing master, here are defenses you need to make sure your student has, and then from the student's perspective, they flow very well together into a solo form for practice alone, which Marozzo specifically talks about in this section again. So if this doesn't flow as neatly as the things we've been doing, there is possibly a reason for that, but it's certainly not your imagination. I'm going to start in coda lunga alta, which Marozzo says is the perfect guard for defending against a stoccata, and he specifies that these stoccatae are to the face, and that's going to become important at the end here. My first defense, Ryan gives me a stoccata to the face, I step out with my right foot and I cover it with a mezzo mandrito, and then I give him a punta reversa to the face. However, it is of course possible that that will miss, and so Marozzo gives us a scenario where our opponent gives us a mandrito to the head instead, and it looks something like this. And then I get that hit. If that mandrito is incoming, I'm going to need to parry it, which I'm supposed to do in the manner of guardia di entrare, stepping with my left foot. So Ryan gives me the thrust, I cover, I thrust, he steps out, and I go to meet him with my sword further off to my left, stepping forward with my left, and I've given him that thrust again. I then withdraw, simply slicing his face with the reverso, and I am back into coda lunga alta. The next defense, actually let's do that whole thing one more time. The next defense is similar. I'm going to step out with a mezzo mandrito again, and this time give a mandrito, reverso tondo. And then I step back with a reverso squalendrato. There's no parry or riposte given from the teacher there. I think that is. That may be Marozzo just trying to save space, but it is also a good reminder that this, a mezzo followed by a reverso tondo, does not work unless you are extremely fast about it. There's no time to wait at the opponent's blade. It's got to be bounce and go. The third one, I defeat his stoccata with a falso dritto, and this only works if Ryan gives me a falso stoccata to the face. If he gives me that to the face, then I can beat this with a falso dritto. If he comes in low at the belly, then there is no way for this to work. And it is unrealistic for him to give me that belly thrust and for me to kind of drop down and try and hit it with the false edge. There are ways to do that, but the false edge is a weak weak parry. And in any case, it's not what Marozzo's talking about here. So he gives me that stoccata to the face, I step out with a falso dritto, and then I give him a slice and reverso to the legs, followed by I step back with a falso dritto to the arm, and a fendente to the face. And once again, that leaves me in coda lunga alta. It's really apparent here that Marozzo is talking about sharp sword work, because that slicing reverso to the leg, while it might bite through enough cloth and meat to mesto cut to the face, even if I land this, I have to deal with something coming at me, and here I am, like, quite close, which I have to be to hit him in the leg. So, up to the sword arm to stop that, and whether that hits or my opponent just bails on the cut, give him another fendente to the face. It is okay if that doesn't hit. It puts my point in his face, and now my opponent has a bleeding thigh. My point is forward, and I can just withdraw and let him deal with the fact that I have cut his leg open. As I said, in a paired context, this doesn't work especially well, but as a solo exercise, it does flow pretty well.